Yeah, guys, welcome to this week's pod. Happy St. Paddy's Day to everyone. I hope you've all had a Guinness and all that shindig stuff. What a Sunday for the FA Cup, and overall, what a weekend for the FA Cup. How we doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah.
I'm good.
No Arsenal this weekend, Gav. You must have loved being on the sidelines and just watching all the goals going in.
You know what? I was bored.
Oh, really?
You know what? I was bored of the Premier League games. The FA Cup games are quite entertaining, to be fair. But you know what it's like when your team's not playing. You're just like, when the goals are flying in, and you're having quality games such as Man U and Liverpool, and you're just sort of miss your team.
Oh, I don't know. I love it, man. I think it's because West Ham are just shit. I like it when it's a weekend we ain't playing. Right, we might as well go into the first one, Man United, Liverpool. What an absolute firecracker. I didn't think Man United were going to bring anything today. And when I saw the lineups, and then I don't think they bring a lot, by the way. I don't know whether everyone agrees with that. I just think Liverpool weren't particularly very good, is the way I would like to put it.
Yeah, I don't think United were amazing. I just think that Liverpool were very on and off the burner. They didn't seem to have like a consistent flow, and the amount of chances where they got to the box and just did nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think it was a poor performance from Liverpool. But United did well to get the result. To be fair.
Yeah,
I think Liverpool are shell shocked. If I'm being honest, I think everyone thought that Man United are going to just not lie down and let Liverpool take the victory route. But Man United started off really well, started on the front foot, got the first goal, and then it was just sort of like Liverpool grew into the game, and it was like Man United were just waiting for half time to come so they could get back into the changing room, see what Eric Ten Hag's going to say. Not an awful lot, and then they came out and did fuck all. It was like what we expected to happen in the first half happened in the second half. It was a great game, but it's one of those. It's a tale of two halves.
Yeah. Wasn't any real quality either, I didn't think. Like individual pieces of quality. I thought it was just all very like that derby's meant to be like that though. I hate all I don't like derbies where it's like chess matches between the two managers. I prefer where they both just chuck the kitchen sink at each other.
Yeah.
I think Man United ended up with two defenders on the pitch. I think Anthony was playing left back for part of it. It's just maybe that's his position.
I give him I slag the boy off quite a bit, but Ten Hag, at least he went for it. I appreciate the fact that he just, and I guess United fans have been saying that he just went, yeah, go on, and they just went forwards, mate, and it worked. Like I think the turning point in the game was when Klopp brought the youngsters on. He killed the game.
Yeah, I thought he lost a bit of control. I mean, we were watching it together, weren't we? I thought he lost a bit of control. Not so much Bradley, but I mean, Harvey Elliott wasn't a bad player either. But I mean, Salah was a bit quiet, but he just seemed to change the dynamic of that team. I
think it was when Salah got taken off.
Yeah.
When you take Salah off, you take off not your threat, but he's the name that as soon as he picks up the ball, something's going to happen.
I think it's that worry factor in it from a defender. If Salah's on that right wing, you're always thinking about what are you doing to stop him playing. If Harvey Elliott's on that right side, you can let him go out there and have 5 yards of space or 10 yards of space because you're not scared about what he's going to do. Salah's got that ability to just turn it on and break 4 of your ankles and then come in and cut it in and just bang it in the top left.
Yeah, but I think he took Salah off when it was 3-2, didn't he? And then was it 3-2? It was either 2-1 or 3-2. I think it was 2-1 actually. I think Klopp just thought United aren't doing anything.
Yeah,
we're already at fucking Wembley. And then Anthony's decided to do his fucking fidget spin, but he actually got a goal with it. I hate the boy.
I would just like to say as well, but Bruno Fernandes should have been off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes should be off.
Yeah.
After his first tackle, because I'm sorry, but I'm going to wheel this back to West Ham. Is we've had two double yellows in January and February. One in February, one in January. One Calvin Phillips and one Kufal, where both of them were light yellows, second yellows, and they both got called because they are yellow card challenges. That Bruno Fernandes one was a yellow card.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the ball.
Yep.
He got only ankle. What's the excuse?
There isn't one. It's just it's again refs being inconsistent. They're just.
Lee Dixon's sitting there going, if it's anywhere on the pitch, it's a yellow card. Well, why ain't it a yellow card then?
Aye, that's such a stupid fucking thing to say. It's like that's just a fucking Michael Owen quote, honestly.
But he's right.
It's so stupid. I agree with it, but he's a fucking pundit. You know what I mean?
I'd get it if it was in the penalty area, but it wasn't even in the penalty area. So he's on about anywhere else on the pitch. It's like, you're in the area where someone quotes anywhere else.
Yeah.
So what area are you on about that it wouldn't be called
Centre
in?
circle. Crunch and tackle centre circle doesn't count as actual Bermuda Triangle. You know,
Do you know what I mean?
anything in there.
It just makes no sense to me.
Didn't make sense to him.
No.
I'm telling about he said it and he kind of thought, what the fuck did I just say?
I sound like
honestly, I can imagine that.
Did anyone else get the feeling that when Bradley was 2-on-1 on that 4-3 goal, just to clear the fuck out of the Man United player before he passed it through?
Why did he stop?
Take the card. Just break the boy's fucking leg.
You're getting sent off, Ben. Yeah. You're getting sent off.
But that's what I mean. You take the card, and then you let your team play in it another 30 seconds. Just clear the ball out. Because they'll call it at 120, you know what I mean? It went to 121 or something. Like, they literally had like 40 seconds before 120. And yeah, I agree. I'd have gone through it.
Commentators saying Kelleher should have done better?
The angle it looks like he could have done better. When you watch the replay, it looks like he probably could have reached it.
I think it's hard for the keeper because he could go either post. So he has to think he can go this post or he's going that post. And then when he's decided to take the shot, which was actually pretty quick out of his feet, he's in two minds. He can't do right for do wrong.
I don't want to be one of these muggy people, right? But see, when I oversee a shot that's gone into the side netting before it's gone into the back of the net, I always think the keeper couldn't have done anything about it.
Right, it came off the post.
That's what I mean. If it hits the side net though comfortably, I just think at the end of the day it's nestled so far across. I don't think you can do anything about that, personally.
I think it's very harsh, and I've seen a few people come out already and say Kelleher and Van Dijk didn't have good games there, and I don't think they necessarily did, but I think it's harsh to blame Kelleher.
Yeah,
for that.
Yeah,
it's as well, to be honest.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why he didn't start Bradley. I'm not going to start questioning Klopp. I'll question Moyes because he's useless. But I'm not going to question Klopp on his selection. But I don't know why he didn't just start Bradley on right back and out right back, and then put Gomez at centre back if he was going to do that. I know that Quince has been good, but he looked shaky, mate, from the start. I didn't think Van Dijk was the problem.
No,
I think it was that right side. That McTominay goal came from the right side, not. If you look at it, they didn't step up when the left side was a Robbo and Van Dijk. When they stepped up, the right side didn't.
Robbo was in the net. Robbo was in the fucking net.
Wasn't the first goal, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was one of the build-up passes. You see one of them. Was it the inverted Garnacho run before he's put it across? The left has stepped up, but the right hasn't, and it's allowed him to come in. It's one of those, isn't it?
Rashford was bang average. Actually, he was just bad, to be honest.
I think he was shocking. He missed 2 sitters, and I don't care what Wembley says where they go, oh, but he was offside, so it didn't matter. I don't give a fuck. He's not thinking he's offside. He's thinking, I want to fucking win this.
He was awful, mate.
He's sliced 2 of them.
And the problem is, he scored 1 in 4, mate. Like 1 in 4 easy chances, which on his day, when he's been in form, he would have finished them. But they're 4 easy chances for him, and he flopped.
That 120 minutes highlights Rashford's season, doesn't it? Chances, but no finished product.
Yep.
At times. I actually thought he looked all right today. Actually, with every one of those, he done everything right to the final third. I mean that shot where he's dragged it, just that first touch. Oh my god, it is unreal. And then
it's not that he's not a talented football player. He's just
that's it.
He needs to be able to finish it. And I know United fans are going to love him for the fact that he scored a goal, but like you got to be asking questions.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
He can't be this United lad, absolute prodigy of a football player, and he misses and he scores 1 in 4 clear and easy chances.
They were comparing him to Mbappe last year.
Yeah.
Sorry, they were comparing him to Mbappe
And
last year.
He's not even close.
7 words.
Yeah.
I've already seen Man United fans say that the Liverpool era is over.
Yeah,
they're gonna fucking laugh. This is why I hate them so much, and they go on about Arsenal being deluded and stuff. And I get that some Arsenal fans completely are. I hold my hands up, absolutely. But mate, you're not even within fucking half an hour of winning the fucking game, and you're on about them fucking their era's done. Fuck off.
If United dominated them today, I would have understood that comment, but they didn't.
No.
I don't even know the stats. I don't know the stats in front of me, but I would suggest every stat probably leans towards Liverpool, apart from the last 20 minutes where United turned it on. And I don't even think they turned it on. I think Liverpool just looked like it couldn't make a right decision.
But I think that every time they got
so indecisive,
they got to the box and then they just kind of turn, and then rather than go for a goal or anything and make the decision that they're going to go for a goal as soon as they get there, everyone just kind of stopped, and then we're just kind of looking left and right to make a pass. No one just decided, I'm just going to take this on. Szoboszlai got...
McAllister was quiet.
Yeah.
By the way, I was so wrong about Cody Gakpo. I thought Cody Gakpo, when he was going to Liverpool, would actually do stuff, but I tell you what, he's been shit.
He wasn't great.
I cannot get my head around him. He was so good as well. He is unreal, but seeing a Liverpool shirt, he just looks like a donkey.
Well, it made no difference.
He's got a first touch. He's got a great first touch, but then he just can't do anything other than that.
You always realise that he just stutters on the ball.
Yeah.
It's like his brain just can't. It's like it ain't computing.
He just didn't know. He didn't make I think that's the worst thing that you can say about Sub. He was brought on and he genuinely made no difference.
Yeah. By the way, just a shout out to Darwin Núñez. I think he was class while he was on.
Yeah, I thought Núñez was decent.
That assist is cold as anything. The fact that he's rolled that back, because the reason why I say that is because most strikers would just try and take a shot on his weak foot, and he's gone, no, you know what, fuck that. Just caress it back and let that was McAllister's goal. Absolutely twat it. It was unreal.
I think if that is Darwin Núñez when he first came in, he's taking that shot on.
Yep, I agree.
And you can see not how he's evolved, but
he's getting scarily good, Gav.
How he's sort of like learned from his mistakes. Like obviously you had Liverpool, you had every fan kind of berating him, going, he's fucking shit. Why have you signed him? So he's probably heard that.
Banter him, yeah.
Under the Klopp training camp as well, under his way of how he's dealt with so many great players, Darwin Núñez looks class now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's all you can really fucking say. I mean, don't get me wrong, he will have the odd floppy game, but he is good. He is good, and that cutback was just.
That was lovely. It was lovely. That was
good. That was.
It's not that I've just pulled the. It's not that I've just pulled the stats out of my arse. I've just got my phone here, having a look. 17 goal involvement in 26 games. That's just in the league.
Yeah, that's mad.
For Darwin Núñez this year, that's unreal, in my opinion.
The boy is class.
And you have to think as well, is that Liverpool side's been so depleted for most of the season.
Yeah.
You had Salah away for Africa Cup of Nations, and he was injured for a long time. Gakpo either is injured or doesn't do an awful lot. Jota seems to just always be fucking injured. Like he's kind of stepped up. He's stepped up when Liverpool kind of needed that talisman up front.
If they win the league this year, they need to give a massive pat on the back to Curtis Jones. In my opinion, was decent when he's been fit. Harvey Elliott and Darwin Núñez, and actually Luis Diaz. Diaz quality.
He was quiet today though. He wasn't. I don't know. He didn't seem to be firing at all. Usually he's an absolute menace, but he just. I don't know.
I'll go back to McAllister. Like I was watching him, and every time he got the ball, he just give it away. Not give it away to Man United, but he just was so quick to just get away from him. He was getting it. He was just going side to side. It wasn't really going forward.
I think this change of position hasn't been a favour though, has it? Because sometimes he's playing this deep line old midfielder, and then when Endo comes in, he's going a bit higher up. Dominic Szoboszlai as well. Sorry. What a player. We saw him live, Gav, didn't we? At West Ham, Liverpool. Oh, he's unreal.
I
Oh,
liked him, but Leipzig, I thought he was class. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks like he's going to be a handful.
yeah.
But he's sort of another one that he came in and was like, right, no one can say his fucking name, and then all of a sudden he's just clicked into gear and thought, Ken, what? Players aren't fit. I'm going to make my time in this Liverpool team count, and I'm going to make a headache for Klopp of who to put in the midfield. And right now, you can't take him out of that team. Even with a fully fit midfield, he's in regardless.
Just a shout out as well. The Coventry Wolves game, what an absolute barn burner. Me and Ben were trying to jump over the two games at the time between the was it Cardiff City Swansea, Ben?
Yeah.
I think that early on, wasn't it? Cardiff City Swansea. Then I was like, nah, let's watch the last 20 minutes of the Coventry City Wolves game. Oh, what a decision that was! Unreal, wasn't it? That is what you want to see from the. That's what you want to see from the FA Cup.
4 goals in 10 minutes.
20 minutes. Well, 15 actually. Yeah, 15.
It was mental because we chucked it on, and you sit there going, "Oh, it's been 1-0 up to like 80 odd minutes." You sit there going, "Oh, well, it's been a boring game then, isn't it?"
All of them would just throw the kitchen sink football at someone. It wasn't like, you know, what we were on about last week about who's the best team to watch, like Arsenal, City, whoever. It was total just fucking chuck men up front and just give it a go. And I love that sort of
props
football.
To Coventry because they were class. Like they were unreal. Yeah. The fact that when Wolves looked like they were taking the game off them, to not just crumble and then get it and then just went, well, go on, and we'll fight back a bit and get the last goal. Unreal.
That game just shows why goalkeeping time wasting isn't always the best solution to kind of try to grind out a game.
Oh, pisses me off.
I was me and my dad were watching it, and Ali McCoy, Jose kept doing it, and Ali McCoy just goes, "He's starting to really piss me." Well, he didn't say piss me, but he was like, "He's starting to really annoy me now." I hope he does it again. I want to hear what Ali says. But you know what? It was those goals for Coventry. You think they came from a Prem side? You honestly would. They were so good, and they found the corner. It wasn't like it was a mistake or anything. They worked for those goals. And
that one-touch finish to kill it. I like that goal, but it was the second. It was a double header. The header across the header in.
To equalise.
I just love that football.
But yeah, Jose Sarr, I think I could have strangled him through the TV. I was like, because I'm sitting here and I'm going,
Ben was bursting a blood vessel on his forehead, mate.
Just doing it in, just hit the ball. What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
They're not going to score if it's at the other end of the pitch. That's my way of looking at it. They might come back, but as long as you've got a Premier League defence, which Wolves do, you should be fine.
By the way, that is the best thing Gav's ever said on this podcast. You can't score when the ball's in the other side of the pitch. That's the most sensible thing he said in 8 months.
I'm going to get a T-shirt with that printed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already been done. Hashtag 2K.
View for the team match. The link will be below. Yeah.
When you look at the semi-finals of Man United, Coventry, City, Chelsea, are we seeing a City Coventry final? Is that going to happen?
No.
I hope so.
I would like to see Coventry Chelsea.
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah.
No, because it actually benefits me having City. Well, benefits Arsenal having City in the FA Cup final. The more games they play, the fucking better for us. But I think Coventry Chelsea. I think Chelsea have been so underwhelming this season, and Coventry have actually played pretty well. I would love to see that.
I'd like to see Coventry win it, to be honest. I think if they could get past United, which it'll be tough, but I think they've got it. Like the football they played against Wolves, they could take on Prem opposition for the looks of it. So
I think it will suit them because Coventry will ask United to come out and play, and I don't think United like doing that in the minute. They like playing off the counter.
Yes.
And I just think that suits them. Don't wrong, it's Wembley. I mean, that's what Man United typically as a club. That's what they do. But I'd love to see a Coventry City final and Coventry to win it. That would be unreal. Because that's all I want to see. You know, like there was stick in January and February when it's not just, but Arteta, Poch, Klopp, Pep, everyone was coming out. I think Moyes even came out and said it. Oh, the congested fixture list at the FA Cup's a joke. Let's get rid of these replays. Fuck off. The FA Cup's
I love
class.
club football, and I like the fact that like you get a team like Coventry as a Championship team, and they're punted out a Prem team, and you sit there and you go, well, they've got another Prem team. Give it a good go. If they beat United, I'll piss myself laughing, but I'll also just be chuffed for them if they can get
the Man United day will be over.
Well, it's also as well. It's not the let's settle for a draw sort of look, is it? It's like you saw with Coventry Wolves. No, we don't want to go to penalties. We are going to go for this game. We're going to go for it.
Penalties
try and
for
win.
me is the worst. Like, I don't think any manager should ever aim for it because it's literally just a coin toss. It's a 50-50.
No.
Every penalty is 50-50. And like, I like the fact that both Wolves and Coventry just went, we're going for the win. Even if it's an extra time, we are making sure that we win this game. And I agree. I thought it was class. I think the get rid of the replays and that. No, I want to be able to see like Yeovil Town play Man City. You know what I mean? I want to see some ridiculous fixtures of someone in like the absolute dregs of the league somewhere managed to get into like the third round of the FA Cup. That'd be class.
Stop changing things. Please, I don't like fucking change. I want to change the Champions League. I want to change the FA Cup. I want to change fucking the Carabao Cup. Or they changed that fucking name. They're changing everything. They wanted to bring in these fucking blue cards. Don't fucking change anything. It's stupid. The FA Cup, I like seeing, I don't know, the Rochdales coming up against the fucking
Gav.
Prestons. You know what I mean? I like fucking seeing that. I like seeing the upsets. And you can what? If Coventry do get to the final and it is against City, that game reminds me of, I think it's 2012
Wigan
when Wigan beat City. That's all that I'd be thinking, and I think Coventry, if they do get there, is all they should be thinking of. Wigan.
But that's what the FA Cup's about, though.
You know what I mean? They got relegated and won.
That's what the FA Cup's about, though. I know a lot of the bigger clubs and the bigger managers will try and play it down and not want replays.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I don't care who it is. I don't care if Moyes has a go about it. I think everyone needs to be realistic and go, Joe, what, mate? Every so often when you see a team absolutely spank the daylights out of a Premier League team, it's class. Even if it's us. I mean, look at Bristol City, mate. They've done us, mate. They absolutely done. There was a couple of controversial decisions in there, but they've done us. They beat us over 180 minutes. It is what it is. Deal with it.
If you don't want to play extra games, you know what? They're complaining about being paid.
Win
the game about, really. They're moaning about being paid for extra games. That's fine then. Give that money to charity. Give that money to the fans. Give the money back to the club. You know what I mean? If you don't want to play those fucking games, don't play them.
Yeah.
But don't pick up that fucking paycheck either.
In the game.
Because you get paid millions for.
Well, that's what all the West Ham fans came out and said with about the Bristol City second leg. Is you moaning about losing the second leg? Moyes had a massive go about it because the refereeing wasn't brilliant, but it is what it is. We weren't good enough either. But if you don't like it, win it at the home tie, the first tie you've got. You can't then moan when it goes away and you got your back against the wall. Fun enough, you'll have your back. If you go to Leyton Orient in the league away, or you go to Wigan or Blackburn or Leeds, you've always got your back against the wall because they want to beat you because they're in a lower league than you. There's a huge game.
How many managers put out a second team for the FA Cup now? Like out of the big clubs in the Prem, how many people actually put out a starting 11?
Well, Wenger used to be famous for it, didn't he? Wenger used to be famous for the FA Cup.
If you go through the.
Not out of disrespect, apparently he just used to want to give the kids a run out and see what they could do. But
which I sort of get, but then if you're doing that, do that through the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, and he never used to do that. He used to get to the quarterfinals and chuck Thierry Henry back on. Prick. Yeah. So
you know what as well? I agree with you. You go to like Blackburn, Coventry, teams like that, even like the lower leagues, League 1, League 2, and you've got the back against the wall. But it means so much to that club. It's bringing in that added revenue that they may need. So who was it? Who went bust a few years ago? It was due to COVID and stuff. But you know what I mean? That could happen to so many League 2 clubs at the moment. Yeah. And they're on about taking that revenue away from them. Fine then. If you're going to have more and more teams go into liquidation and go broke and stuff, because you want to change the way because Pep and City, Liverpool, Arsenal, all the big guns aren't happy, you're just going to fucking ruin it. That's
Well, look
just
at
as
Coventry,
simple as
right?
that.
See, or like you said, any League Two club, if they go up against a Championship team and beat them, that's made their year. You turn up and someone 2 leagues above you and you slapped them. That's unreal. Fuck.
Well, I mean, that Coventry Wolves game, mate. Did you see the
Oh
fans?
yeah, they were over the moon. It was
Unreal.
do you know what? It was actually just class.
I said to Ben, right?
That's what you love to see. That is what you want to
right,
see.
Do you know what would be amazing? It would be a fly on a wall in a pub in Wolverhampton that night, seeing all the Coventry fans in there.
Do you know what
It'd be
I did notice as
unreal.
well?
I'm not even a Coventry fan. I've got no affinity to them, but it's just class to see them beat a Premier League team. And do you know what it is as well?
Yeah.
It's fucking arrogance from Premier League clubs at times. Not Wolves on Saturday, and I'll back them for that because they put out a good team. But usually it's due to fucking arrogance from Premier League teams thinking they've reserved 11 can beat a starting 11 in the Championship or League One, and they can't.
You know what? It's not even that. It's a case of right. You're mid-table in the Championship. You're sitting 5th in the Prem. You're not going to do fuck all against us.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they concede an early goal, and then that's the Premier League teams trying to find that goal, but they can't get the goal because, in my opinion, the Championship. I think sometimes the Championship has more.
They defend better.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to say. It wasn't coming out. But they do. Like you see the amount of 0-0, 1-0s that you have in that league, and it's not due to the fact of it's fucking boring. It's the fact of it's almost like a stalemate. It's like, all right, we'll score. You actually need to work to get this, rather than you have to do 3 fucking pirouettes, a Cruyff turn, and a fucking Panenka to get a fucking goal. You know what I mean? Arsenal are bad for that. Who was it? Was it Brighton one year? I think it was last year we got put at the Carabao Cup. And we went 1-0 down, and that was it. We couldn't do anything. Now, I'm not saying Brighton are a Championship team, but they were lower than us. They weren't doing very well at the time. And they fucking peppered us, and we couldn't do anything about it. I love seeing the lower teams come in and just play well.
When you said about the Coventry fans all celebrating, see, when we were watching it, no, there was none of this. There was none of the bloody in front of their face. It was class. They were just cheering and going mad. Yeah. I hate it when, I would say Prem clubs are the worst for it, is a goal, someone will score, the camera spins round and it's just all these dickheads with their phones out like that, and you just watch the game. Like,
if you want to watch it through a screen,
I'll take your ticket, mate. Go for it. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna watch it through a screen, you may as well do it in the fucking warmth with a pint in your hand, sitting on your fucking ass. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not
better.
And you know what? It's not gonna be. I'm not calling fans that do that plastic or anything, but if you're gonna do that and you're gonna take a ticket away for somebody that either it could be their first game, something like that, it's actually gonna experience it rather than just be spectate it, if that makes sense.
You're just watching it through the TV, mate. If you're sitting there the whole time and you're uploading to Snapchat or whatever crap that they were posting on, mate, I want to see the goal, and I'm going to go mental. If my team scores, I want to just cheer. I ain't about posting it on my story so other people can see what. They want to watch it. They can watch the highlights or watch it on telly themselves. I'm there. I want to be involved.
Right. 2 seconds. I want to go into something else while we've got time. Thank you. There was a big international story upon the back of England announcing their international team.
Here we go.
2 seconds. No, I'm not going to just bash Ben White. I want to actually bring up a whole array of this because there is someone I suspect is doing it, but isn't getting the same coverage on it because he's not an England player. We will start on Ben White, but I don't want to finish on Ben White because there's another player I want to bring up that I admire, but I think he's doing it as well because he's bad for it. What do we think of Ben White? He apparently doesn't like Steve Holland, the assistant coach, because he got a dress down, apparently, argument in Qatar. Apparently, Ben White believes he should be starting every game in England. This is what's come out. I'm just setting the scene. He believes he should be starting the game at right back for England. He now doesn't want to play for England, doesn't want to be selected for England.
My opening statement is, if I speak, I'm in trouble. Go on, Ben.
No, go on.
So, for me, should he start? I don't know, maybe probably not, but I always think so. I think now playing for your country is very looked at as like a side activity. It's just kind of I could do that if I want to. For me, especially as like a kid in that when we had Bex, Rooney, Lampard, and all that, they used to treat it as if it was like an honour to be called up. Like it was it was something to
Yeah.
be proud of that you were representing your country and you put loads of effort in. And obviously, this has all come out. I don't think he's actually released his own statement yet, has he?
No, the problem is, I think so. In my opinion, I agree. I don't think he starts against the biggest teams because I think Walker does, right? Because he's so good defensive and so good recovery. I think going forward, he's better than Walker. I do agree with that. I think I take that sentiment. I actually would like to see whether he'd play better if he wants to start a back three. I wouldn't mind him being in a back three, to be honest with you, with England. I wouldn't actually mind him seeing him what he's like next to John Stones either. I actually want the bigger umbrella of it is you're right. When I was a kid, I don't think anyone said no to being part of an international side when you got called up. My worry is that there's two players. I'll unveil the second one in a minute. Ben White and someone else who have pulled up with knocks, and obviously Ben White said that he doesn't want to be picked. When did playing for your club mean more than playing for your country?
It shouldn't be more. So for me, right, I'm English first, and then I'm a West Ham fan. Because, like, for me, you're born in England, and locally, we're from London. So, like, yeah, Essex. So, like, it is where I'm from, but I'm English. I'm proud to be English. If Southgate fucking knocked on my door and he went, tell you what, mate, you got a 50-50 here. You can either go play for West Ham for a day, or you can turn up and play San Marino for England. I'd choose the England game every day of the week.
Do you know what I'd like to get your opinion on, Gav? I'd like to get your opinion from a Scottish point of view because I think it's slightly different with Scotland than it is to England. If I throw in a situation out here, if John McGinn's playing for Villa and they're in third and fourth and they're busting about the top four and they really need him to be fit for the run-in, and he goes and say you're in the position that Wales are in and they've got a playoff next week, haven't they, to get in the Euros, and John McGinn goes, I'm going to fuck Scotland off. I'm going to make sure I'm fit for Villa to be in the top four. How would you deal with that?
It's tricky. It's very. If it's a fact of he had an actual proper reason, it's a fact. I kind of zoned out not zoned out, but when you're on about Scotland had a playoff against Wales to get into Euros. Is that what you're on about?
No, so Wales have got a playoff next week. So what I'm saying is Wales have got a playoff next week, right?
Right.
None of the players have called out. What I'm saying is in the Scottish example, if you use McGinn, for example, so Villa are currently going for a top four race, right, in the last 10 games with Spurs and a couple of other teams. What I'm saying is if John McGinn turns round and you need to win this playoff to get to Germany, and he went, I'm going to fuck Scotland off actually because Villa need me for the last 10 games, you're going to be like, brilliant, no worries, bud.
So, if it's a fact of Scotland are having international friendlies, and either the player or the club has reached out and said, look, do you mind him not playing? Or the player goes, do you mind me sticking around the club, get extra training in, make sure I'm fit and stuff? I don't necessarily have a problem with that if it's international friendlies and stuff. If it's a fact of getting called up for
Are you Euros, more empathetic because it's an Arsenal player, though?
No. I'd be the same if it was John McGinn. I'd be the same if it was Scott McTominay. I don't really like Scott McTominay. I'd be the same though if they've got a reason and it's not a competition, so it's not Euro qualifiers, it's not Euros, it's not a World Cup, it's nothing like that. I don't see the big harm in it. Yes, it upsets a few fans. I completely get that. But going on to the Ben White side of it, I think there's an awful lot of stuff that happened in that training.
But is he not the second choice right back right now?
For Arsenal or for
no for England right now? If you I think most people would pick Walker first, right?
Are you about being if everybody was fit?
No, right. So in tournament football, he has anyone he can pick. Southgate. you go to Germany. I think Ben White's the second choice right back right now because I think he plays Trent in midfield. I don't think he even plays Trent in right back right now.
And there are games where you probably find Ben White would probably be more suited to start.
What fucks
I don't
me
watch
off?
England football, so I don't know what Southgate does.
What fucks me off is it's partially Ben White and it's partially the audacity of it. I had a go in January, or was it December, when Saka pulled up with an injury, and he just let England know he wouldn't be there. That annoyed me because, in my opinion, you go to England and then St George's Park tells you whether you're fit or not.
So for me, it would be like say Jared Bowen, right? Gets picked for England, but then we need him for a final or something like that, or a semi-final or whatever. I expect him to pick England. I expect him to play that England game because, as much as I want West Ham to do well, I also want England to win.
I'll put it another way, Gav, as well. But you slagged Andre Onana off, Gav, in January, when the Africa Cup of Nations, when he decided to miss the opening game because he wanted to play for Man United. You slagged him off. You didn't like that. So what's the difference of opinion? That's a competitive nation game.
I don't know if I did or not. You've got a fucking better memory than I do, and I say
I'd have an issue with Salah, if I'm honest. So say Salah for Egypt, he is their best player, like by far.
I don't think it matters. I agree with you, but I don't think it matters.
My point stands. What I said, not with Onana. I don't have a fucking clue what I said there. But to say with Onana, it was a competition. It was their Euros. He didn't want to play in it. He wanted to miss that game. It's a competition. You should want to play in the big competitions. If you've played to get there, you really should be playing while you're there. If it's a fact of it's international friendlies and you're fucking off to Uzbekistan, where you could just be not sitting at home, so it's not sitting at home, you're still doing training, you're still playing football.
Yeah, I was going to say this as well, though. You need, so I'd agree with you. I wouldn't moan at it as much if it was friendlies against. I just double check because I wanted to make sure. It isn't a friendly against San Marino or fucking Andorra. It's a friendly against Brazil and Belgium. They are real intensive friendlies. No, but they're against teams that, to be honest,
regardless, is my opinion.
Nah, but
I get who they are, and it's a big game. But
it is because you build into the Euros. Is my what I'm saying is, right? He won't get picked for the Euros now. He can't be picked for the Euros. He's done, right?
I don't think he cares. He's also come out and said the only reason he plays football is because it pays more than other jobs. He has came out and said that.
Also, as well, I don't get on with this Arsenal announcement the day of, when just before England announced the international group. Declan Rice and everyone doing, why Ben White's so brilliant? You just knew it was coming before Gareth Southgate put the
come out and say that he only plays for the Wales?
But it's the fact that his contract got signed.
Yeah, he does.
So it's just Danny Rose
then.
Because Danny Rose came out with that same stupid statement. Yeah. I get it, right? It's not just a job.
But Ben White. But the thing is, as well, is I think, as I said, I think there's a lot of shit that happened when he left that training camp, or whatever camp it was he left.
It was Qatar. It was World Cup. It was World Cup.
He abruptly left, and I think Ben White's quite broad-skinned. He doesn't really get upset with an awful lot. It's sort of, it is what it is. So for him to leave, I think it was a big, the only thing that I
back, that if it is genuinely, because when it first came out in the World Cup, it was apparently that Ben White wasn't happy with the fact that he wasn't getting minutes regardless of who we were playing, and I do agree with that because Southgate doesn't rotate at all. We don't need to be playing Kyle Walker against Wales or against USA. I don't think Ben White is a drop-off, is what I'm saying. I think Kyle Walker's better, but I don't think it's like you know what I mean?
Like an actual drop-off. They're still both class players. Yeah.
Yeah. My worry is, and the other player I'm going to bring in, because funnily enough, he came up with a knock just after his game on Sunday, was Kevin De Bruyne. Apparently he's had a knock. And then they announced the squad and he ain't in it, funnily enough. And my worry is that more players are going to start doing this now, where they're just going to turn around and go, well, it's only a friendly. It's for your country.
If you actually think back to the game, though, Kevin De Bruyne was pissed he got taken off. Pissed he was taken
He was
off.
pissed.
So
There was
now-
no medical attention, and he walked off fine on his own.
I
Are we saying
think
he's
there needs to
injured?
be like
I'm
he's-
hoping he is.
Well, he just ain't though, is he?
I fucking hope he is, man. I like him. I love him as a player, but I
I
don't
just
want to
think
play
it's
against
such
us.
a like. Where's your national pride? You should be proud of where you're from,
That's
mate.
what
Like,
gets me.
I think I don't think it's just an English thing.
I agree with the Kevin De Bruyne one. I think the Ben White one's very
I just
tricky
think
because there's an awful lot that we don't know of it,
I get that.
and
I
people
respect
jump.
that.
People jump the gun of it,
Which
and
is
as I
what
say, he's normally quite broad chested. He normally
Which is what I
takes
said to
everything.
you. I agree with you, but I'm also looking at his career point of view, and I think he gets minutes in Germany because I genuinely think he's the second best right back in England's squad. And I actually think as well, if he actually went on form right now, which Southgate doesn't go on, but if you go on form right now, I think he starts ahead of Walker.
probably
Ben White. I think Ben White's been unreal this year.
No.
I don't think Walker has been.
But you named the problem. Southgate's quite not his favourites, but he's got his 11.
Favourites is the word.
He's got who he wants in
Harry
that.
Maguire's in that squad. So's John Henderson. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not pining on
No, that's what I'm
Ben
saying.
White. Yeah, I'm not pining on Ben
He's
White.
got his favourites, and that's who he wants to play. It's the same with who was it?
I think that's what's done him as well. I think he had this massive row about Walker starting on in front of him, and I think what he basically, from what it came out after Qatar, was he took the flight home. I don't even remember. He took the flight home. As he literally went. He came home after I think the Wales game and the US game, whatever our second group stage game was, and it was basically as well. Apparently, he threw his toys out the pram, saying he should have had minutes. I think he starts ahead of Maguire right now.
Every day of the
To be honest with
week.
you as well. I
Like,
don't see what the
Maguire
problem is with
shouldn't
that.
be in the bloody squad, mate. Like,
I don't think it's just clear cut. I do agree with Gavin. I don't think it's just clear cut. I'm just shitting on him, and I don't want to do that. But I mean more the general.
I think the problem is it happens a lot more than we realise. I think like the Africa Cup of Nations is definitely one to go back to. I think players like Salah and Mane are very quick to I've picked up a niggle, and then they just kind of don't bother.
I'll give him his dues. Salah went out there, mate. Salah went out there and then got injured there, and then he hadn't played for 2 months at Liverpool. So I'll give him his dues on that.
I think if you're going to put it through as a choice thing, right? So if you rather than having them go wishy-washy, turn up, I do and don't want to go, right, whatever. I think it should be that you should have to decide before the tournament.
So I personally think if you don't want accepted for the England call-up, you have now retired from international football. That's what you've just done. Congratulations, you're gone. You're gone. You're never getting picked for England again. That's it. That's done. Because I don't think that's too far. Because if they've called you up, see the problem is you don't know if Southgate would have called him up anyway. He's been very spurious in his. Yeah,
I think Southgate's a snake.
I think he's shit talking as well to back up his coaching staff. I don't know if he would have even picked him. I think he would have probably. But the problem is, it's like
it's so
he holds
easy
the cards
to
though,
go.
mate, because he's the manager. He holds the cards though. It's one of those. You're the player. He's the manager. He decides if you're picked.
It's so easy for him to. The day of or the day after Ben White said he's not going, for Southgate to turn around and go, yeah, well, I would have picked him. I love him as a player, really. And it's like, you're overly sugarcoating it. You're overly bumming him up.
No, he's not.
So
he's not sugarcoating it. No, he's what he's saying is he's going, I'm fine with him. Our staff are fine with him. He's not fine with us.
It's that one friend that no one else likes. You're like, oh, but I like him, though.
Yeah, all he's doing is pushing that straight on Ben White and going, we're fine with him. He doesn't want to be picked, so we can't help that. He's holding his hands up and putting all the blame on Ben White. I don't agree with that, as I said.
If I had the facts, regardless of them being an Arsenal player or what, if I had the facts in the statements that have came out or would come out or will come out, whatever it is, and Ben White's in the wrong of it, I would say he's in the wrong of it. At the moment in time, I'm reserving judgment on it due to the fact of I'm positive at the time it was mental health reasons he left the camp. Then it changed to there was a bust up.
Yeah,
and then there's all this, and it's already changed from what it initially was to what it could be to what it might be. There's a lot of if, buts, maybes. The only people that know what happened is in that camp in what happened with Ben White. They're the only people that know.
I thought when he came back, he literally told. Did he not come out and basically just put out the fact that he wasn't interested in playing second fiddle consistently? Is what I thought.
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that I'm not saying he said it was mental health issues he had left. I'm pretty sure it was England that released saying it was health issues or something.
Yeah, that also rubs you wrong as well as a national team backing your player up, say making an excuse for him. You know what I mean? Making that sort of that cover to try and shield him and shield the fact that he's had a bust up with the staff, and then a year later dropping him under and going, "Oh, we're all right with him."
I think the problem is as well, like Southgate, obviously he's just trying to dodge any sort of flack, isn't he? Because he knows
he's gone after.
He knows half the fucking England fans aren't happy with his team selection. So you're sitting there and he's going, "Oh well, actually, this is all Ben White's fault." If this comes out and it turns out it's all down to Southgate and his coaching staff, they deserve shot. Like they actually deserve so much stick. Don't get me wrong. I know players on social media get very mollycoddled and protected. If this is Ben White's fault, he deserves all the stick he's getting for it. But if this is down to the coaching staff,
I was going to say, if he's actively gone out of his way to turn down international duty for England, he doesn't deserve to put on the shirt.
Yeah,
again.
I agree.
And I agree with it. I agree with what you're saying, but I think it'll be very telling when Southgate leaves his role and his whole team leaves, what will happen or what Ben White will do.
But he'll be gone after July, won't he?
If Ben White continues to be like a down to play, then you more often think it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't Southgate. It's not his team that have done anything. If it's the fact that they pop and now he's like, Sam, I'll play.
Can I be honest with you? From what he said, from all the things that I've heard Ben White say over the year, sorry, you know, I agree. I've seen all this stuff about. I don't really watch football for enjoyment. I don't think I'd play football if I didn't get paid well for it. Things like that. I don't dismiss that he's probably told Southgate. I think he's basically just walked into Southgate going, if I'm not going to get game time, don't fucking pick me. He's basically, which I actually prefer as well, because if he's told him that he doesn't want to be a passenger or be a sub, I partially respect it. Rather than going,
you don't want a player like that in your not in your team, but you don't want them in your squad. Because if you've got that negativity, it's a domino effect.
I agree with you. If you have people in second, pick him.
Exactly. It's like if Bowen gets selected for the squad, but Saka plays every minute, even though Saka's missed open goals, he's missed penalties, he's done all this, he's not played a minute of great football, and Bowen thinks, well, why is he not playing? Then he goes to Ben White and goes, I know what you're saying. Then somebody else, and then it starts becoming more negative and toxic. And then when you go to the Euros or whatever, you're not going to have the great times as you did with Scholes, Lampard,
the best
Gerrard,
passenger ever was Carragher. Because Carragher knew he was in a team with better centre-backs than him, but he was happy to be part of the squad. And that's just what it is.
I also think football, I don't know, it's moved on with the personalities.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's a case of international football isn't what it was.
Because you play for your club, and it's a bolt on to your career now. It's not. I play for Man United and England. I play for Man United, and I get selected for England. It's like a bolt on now.
I think it's very interesting if you go to 100, say Premier League players. You go to 100 Premier League players, multiple nationalities. You go, what would you rather do? Win the Premier League / Champions League, or win the World Cup? I would love to see what's going.
Also, I dropped a TikTok a couple months. Well, I think it'll be the beginning of January, saying basically I'd choose country over club every day of the week. And some of the comments were went off like wildfire. I agree with Jay. Yeah, somehow the dynamic of me winning something for my country and dominating the world, we used to be, especially when we were kids and that, you used to sit there and you go, yes, England just slapped France or we've just been beat off Germany, and you'd be raging about it. You'd have the same sort of passion about it as your club. Now, people just don't seem to care. And I agree, Gav. I think the players aren't helping because they're all going like, could you imagine what I would expect as a massive kickoff is if Mbappe just went for France. I would expect the French national supporters to go mental because you're sitting there, you can't say that.
They would though. No, they would though, because the French are
But that's what I
fucking
mean.
nuts.
Like, you should have that
I also
response. Like, if Kane, right? If Kane got selected and he goes, "I'm not coming, boys," I'd be like, "What do you mean you're not coming? Like, you have to go. You
Yeah.
don't. Like,
he's
you
injured
don't get a
anyway.
choice, mate. You're at best forward. Of course you're going. Like, I think for me there needs like people shit on international football quite a bit, and I enjoy it, mate. I love the fact that I can watch England just turn up and have a right good go at another country. And I think it's not just like everyone will have like players in teams in the Prem where you sit there and go, oh, I like a bit of him. Like, I like Ollie Watkins. I think he's class. So the fact that I can watch him on the pitch with like Jared Bowen, Declan Rice, Conor Gallagher, like they're all players that I enjoy, and I get to see them all play for England in one strip. That's class. I don't know when that became a bad thing. I don't know.
I think with me saying like football has changed with the personalities, I also think the fans are the same.
Yeah.
You'll have the older generation where
mate.
it'll be the case of head on a stick. Ben White, what Jason never plays for England again. You do not put that shirt on again. You've disrespected it, sort of. And then you've got the likes of myself or younger. That would be the case of I don't see a huge problem with it. But that's just how it's changed. And I'll just before you say anything, Jay.
Go on.
If anybody's watching this, comment below, regardless of age, you could be a fucking pensioner or a fucking 10-year-old. Whatever you think, put it in the comments, because I'm quite eager to know what the kind of majority. I do stand by
my words though. Is if it comes out that all he said was, I ain't going. I can't be arsed. See you later.
Yeah,
throw the book at him.
Mm-hmm.
He's retired. He's done.
I think if he's thrown a tantrum and he's just gone, actually, Joe, you know what? I can't be arsed playing for England. I'd be like, all right, no worries. You're never wearing the shirt again. Yeah, because for me, like, it's not it's a national duty, isn't it?
If you're showing a lack of respect of it, then I get it. But if it's a case of I want to kind of stay here and work on what I've been building all season, I think that it's got a slight argument for it. Considering it's two international friendlies, I get it's Brazil, but it's not Brazil with Fat Ronaldo.
No, but I think the significance of it is I think the significance is there's two teams that are probably as good as the best teams in the Euros that will be in June, and I think
you want to test yourself against them.
You've got. Well, the thing is, right, we will come up against France. If we go far in this competition, we will play France. France's problem is Mbappe, and Mbappe is off the left wing. When you play Brazil, you will play a left winger who is as good as Mbappe and Vinny Jr. And the problem is, we need to work out how to stop that. Is that Walker? Is that Ben White? It ain't Trent. We know it ain't Trent. So, do you know what I mean?
So I get what you're saying, but I'm just going back to what we said of the old Wenger, with the case of you're in the cup and you put the youngsters out. I think an awful lot of teams, international clubs, with international friendlies, put out some players that we didn't get in that starting 11 in a competition. I get what you're saying.
No. I think Tony's one. He should be in the squad. Tony should be in the squad.
No, but you know what I mean. I'm not on about England. I'm on about you're on about put Vinny Jr. in Brazil and stuff. Really? Do you? I don't know. It's not. It's the Euros this time, not the World Cup. But if it was the World Cup this summer, and it's a case of, do we want to challenge, like kind of risk him at England, who can be quite aggressive with their tackles, can fly into them? Do you want him to do his ACL and doesn't play for us? No. We'll just pop fucking Richarlison in. We'll just pop him in because it doesn't really matter if he gets injured. You know what I mean?
While we're going and run out of time, we'll go into the one that I wanted to go into. This will bring great joy to Ben and Gavin. What is happening to Tottenham Hotspur right now? Is this? I will lay the picture. Is they're fifth, obviously. I think they're only 12 points of Arsenal, 11 points of Arsenal. I could be wrong with that. I'll just double check.
Van de Ven's a glue.
They're 11 points of Arsenal. is this what Spurs fans are just going to have to deal with now? They wanted better football off Ange. Every so often, they're going to get a drilling off someone.
So, like, I think, obviously, Ange...
Or is it just too basic? Sorry, you get what I mean. Sorry, I'll open the floor up.
I think it just takes time. I honestly do. I think Ange could do great things with Spurs. I think that there just needs to be a bit of patience, because Spurs haven't played spectacular football for many years, possibly since they got to the Champions League final, and even when they did get there, it wasn't fucking brilliant. But I think it takes time. I do. I think they could, if they get the correct signings. No, but you know what I mean. If they get the correct signings, which Mickey van de Ven has been brilliant so far. Vicario's a great keeper. James Maddison hit the ground running before his injury. He hasn't really looked the same since he came back.
But that starting 11 was good enough to beat Fulham, Gav.
No, but you know what I mean? If you bring in 2-3 of those players,
but who?
Each transfer window.
This is what I'm getting at. Realistically, what I'm saying is if you give...
It is realistic.
If you give... 2 seconds. If you give Postecoglou 3 years, because the problem is I know London fans. I am one, right? One thing that would fucking infuriate me is they've got done off Fulham and they've got done off Chelsea this year, and they didn't get done lightly. They've been fucking spanked. They've been done by us at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and they've got Arsenal in 4 weeks, I think. If they get beat again,
but they had injuries.
Not against Fulham.
Fuck off, Gav. I know you're typing that line, and that's fine.
Played. He was awful.
But they had injuries. Come on.
Oh, what's his name? Johnson. He was awful. Son was crap.
Timo Werner.
God. Like, I know someone's going to mention this, either on our pods, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I know I said Werner would be a good signing for Spurs. I am completely wrong, and I apologise.
Oh, that fact that he missed that goal, by the way.
I don't know.
They had a team good enough to beat Fulham completely.
It was hard to miss.
You're fucking
this is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, I guess it's because we're going to go on to West Ham in a minute. What is the ceiling for Spurs? No. What I'm saying is, should they be happy with this? 4th, 5th, pondering, because they're probably going to get Champions League now, thanks to West Ham. No worries, up the irons. 5-0 Freiburg. So
be patient.
Due to the coefficient, they're going to get Champions League next year if they finish 5th. So
I don't think they can moan about their position, but
be patient.
They should not be getting beat like this. Like the starting 11 they had out, right, is definitely good enough to beat Fulham. But I don't actually think it's Ange's football that ruined it. I think it was the players on the pitch. None of them looked up for it. Son was a passenger the entire game.
He's got that in him, though, sometimes against teams when he's playing striker. I actually think Ange doesn't play him in his best position. I think he needs to be put out on the left sometimes and Richarlison in the middle. Because sometimes when teams play sit back a bit, Son's so bad at that because he's not playing very often, right, in the Premier League. He's so bad at that number 9 and moving off.
Last year was a class CDM, one of the best in the league in my opinion, and this year he has been absolutely dog shit.
No, maybe two. No, whoa, maybe 2 years ago.
But he's
2 years ago, not last
honestly,
year,
he looked like genuinely when he was on the pitch, he just looked like he was hungover, mate. Like he genuinely just did not look like he could be asked being there.
Fucking Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah.
Look like Thomas Partey.
But like, just like or rushed off a night out in Belfast or whatever it was.
Almost as good as Tuchel.
I just don't. I don't.
You know what? I think it's patience. I think they need to give them time. If it's the same shit next season, and they hope. But if they bring in players such as the style of Van de Ven that has done really well since coming in, and there's still no change. You're still getting spanked off of Fulham. You're still getting spanked off of Chelsea. Teams like that. Then yes, be pissed off because you're not going up and you're not going down. You're just staying the exact same as what you are. If you can see gradual progress, why are you going to complain?
What I'm saying is, if you look at that Spurs team yesterday against Fulham, it's a lot of people will look to Van de Ven, but you can't look to Van de Ven because you signed a centre back in January who was meant to be as good as Van de Ven to replace him when he was injured. Or sorry, be a number 2, so not be a huge drop off. This boy's apparently wanting to play for Real Madrid in 3 years. Does he fucking know about it? Because he's not good enough.
Oh,
He's useless.
I also heard some Spurs fans say that he was better than Saliba. Yeah, that's a bit of a fucking
all over the park. Like
take,
Tottenham genuinely just looked
Behinds.
shit. Like I'm struggling to think of something they did well. I'm not gonna lie.
And also, sorry, just to bring it up as well, because we're not going to bring game moments up, but it's more just overall Spurs. Pape Sarr, he's a half-decent player, but he ran into a Fulham geezer and literally just, like, gyrated him in the arse. And he didn't get the ball at all. And he's looked at the ref while the ref's giving him the yellow card. And he's like, what was that for, ref? Like, what are you on about, mate? Like, you've almost entered him.
They accept
it was such a stupid. Do you know what? I genuinely hate that when someone clears someone out. You know they've done it on purpose, and they're sitting there going, "What have I done, ref?" You're not discovered fire, mate. You knew exactly what you were doing. You just cleared him out. You sent him in the next week.
Did you guys watch Atletico Madrid and Inter Milan in midweek and fucking Dumfries is just pure groped fucking...
That's art of Turan, but I'll give you that.
It's still awful. Like,
that's Turan.
That's like Vinnie Jones-esque, isn't it?
Was that for Dumfries?
No, it's Turan on Savage, but I know what you're on about. The little ball tickle.
That's the one. Aye, a ball tickle, fucking ball crusher, fuck me. And he sat on the ground going, he fucking did that. And Turan just stood there going, I didn't do nothing. Mate, you just fucking...
afterwards, though. Yes. Just a little bit of ball tickle. It's all good. The last thing I want to pull up, so Spurs are doomed. That's fine, we'll move on.
I'll get you next year.
The last thing I want to pull up, because I've had a couple of comments about it, is about, not on the pod, fun enough, just when I've been out and about with friends that aren't West Ham fans, is should we be happy with Moyes now? Because we've won a couple of games, we've scored a couple of goals. What's wrong with that? 5-0 against Freiburg, mate. I'd like to put it out there. No, exactly, Gav. I completely agree, mate. I'd like to put it out there that Freiburg win, I don't know if you watched it, Gav, the 5-0, it's almost like if you put an attacking lineup on, we score more goals.
If you shit, you score.
Exactly. Yeah, and you ain't got your coaching badges, but you know that. So it's tough that he doesn't know that, really. And then, so fast forward, well done. You got through to the Europa League. We're now going to get put out by Leverkusen, but we'll move on. We go, with Villa come home to us. We go unchanged. Very good to see, by the way. I'll back Moyes up. It is the best thing I've seen. Apparently, we're very reminiscent of West Ham a couple of years ago. Of course we are, because funnily enough, we lined up the same as we did a couple of years ago, rather than chucking 4 midfielders on. And then we score a goal. I think he was shocked, probably. And then he subbed off our striker for a centre-back. And then a minute later...
My biggest problem with this... so he'll make a forward step. He'll go, right, attacking lineup, right, 5-0. There we go, lads. This is what West Ham can do. And then he just Moyses it back up again. It will... Yeah, because...
You know his arse was going, didn't you? In 70 minutes, you know his arse was going. He was like, mate, this is always the time I make changes. I'll tell you what.
We'll take out
centre-back.
Only attacker on. And we're going to put on a centre-back. Because I'm David Moyes and I've got a fucking clue what I'm doing. Like...
It just makes no sense. Joe, I'd actually like... I said this maybe 15 weeks ago. Is if you're going to do that, put Souček up front and put a holding midfielder in. Because then at least you have someone you can play the ball off of. But when you lose Antonio up there, we had nothing. And they literally came on to us within 2 minutes and scored. And it was just you sitting there and you're trying to caress your temples to try and work out how it's working. I don't understand him. What was he thinking was going to happen?
When we watched the Newcastle City game, what did I say to you, right? If you just sit back, they'll just fire it round, they'll score a goal. And it literally went in.
They're centre-back scored a goal against us for Villa.
And the problem is, David Moyes seems to think that we have this like impenetrable defence.
See?
Pau Torres, yeah.
It was Zaniola that scored today.
Oh, was it? Sorry, I thought it was Pau Torres. I apologise. Wasn't centre back.
He just seems to think that we could just absorb all pressure. And, like...
How many fucking knows he had,
it's mad.
Yeah.
You're always going to
water.
concede if you
Sorry,
just sit
that's
back.
Holy water.
I agree. By the way, as well, just to put out there, the first disallowed goal wasn't a disallowed goal.
Not in any way.
No.
Second one,
think it's very harsh.
I'm alright with that.
What's he meant to do? Suck his hand into his chest?
Also, as well, I think it hits him literally at the top of the shoulder. So what is he meant to do?
In one of the angles I've seen, it looks more like it hit his hand because his hand's up here, but he's wearing black gloves, so it just fucking blends into the fucking kit, and it just it looks like it hits his shoulder, but I think it actually hits his hand. But it's here.
It's not like he's
what's he meant to do? You're meant to have your arms as close to your body.
Also, as well,
the
reason why I brought this up is because the geezer who was doing the Thursday commentary with Robbie Savage, every 10 minutes when we scored a goal, every 20 minutes when we scored a goal was going, see, why aren't West Ham fans happy with this? Winning games, scoring goals, and you're just like, but if you watch us more regularly than once a fucking blue moon, you'll know we don't play like that.
I think we've just got to accept the fact now that he could do no wrong in the eyes to the media, unless it's someone like Roy Keane that will call him out. Everyone else just seems to go, yep, well done, Moisey, yep. Even though we got shagged off Arsenal, we got shagged off Liverpool, we got shagged off Fulham. But it's all right because we've won like 3 games now, so it's all good. But we drew against Burnley.
Spurs in a fortnight, lads.
You'd never be content. You should always be wanting more. And unfortunately, Moyes ain't going to give you fucking more. He's already give you one of the best moments of your fans.
I completely agree. You know what? I'd never slag him off for that, and I think he's done us a service. But the time to go was June. Leave us in a platform where we are half decent, and do me a favour, fuck off.
Claude Schraer TV, God rest your soul. It's time to go. That's all it needs. It is time to go because Moyes should have left last year. He should have left on a high. He should have left on a high of winning the first
I completely agree.
European trophy that he's have done fucking ever or years. I don't know if it was your first one. I'm not too sure. So your first time in many, many moons. Before me, before you two.
Yeah.
Leave off. Just fucking leave. Oh, this is what I've done for you. And that's what you'll be remembered for. Now you're being remembered for, you're fucking up every second game.
Yeah.
Just fucking leave. It was the same when Wenger left, and I'm going to do a TikTok on it. When Wenger gave us Arsenal fans some of the best moments we've experienced as a fan. But towards the end of it, it was insufferable because we're not looking back at going, the FA Cups we've won, the Premier League, the Invincibles. We're more looking at, we just got fucking beat off of Watford.
Joe, it's at times though as well. It's like, it's the times at the moment where like I've been calling for this lineup that was against Freiburg and today watch the pods back for a long time. I don't think Antonio's the answer, but I think in the last couple of weeks he's done a job. And I know what's going to happen when we come back from this international break. We'll go back to Bowen up front, Kudus on the right, Paqueta on the left, Souček in the middle, Alvarez and Ward-Prowse probably, although he's pissed off with Ward-Prowse at the moment, we might actually do us a favour. Emerson, Mavropanos, by the way, is playing unreal at the moment. I don't know what's going on.
Won't change, mate. We'll go back.
He's got a job about him, but I think it's how bad Zuma is at times.
His time will come. His time will come, trust me.
He's been right. I think he's been. If you had to give me a starting 11 right now for how good West Ham players have been, he'd be in there right now.
I rate him. He's doing it.
He ain't done many mistakes. Yeah, I mean, he was there. He was there for the Arsenal win at the Emirates. He was fucking good that night as well. Really good that night.
Yeah, he fucking scored.
But no, I wanted to bring it up. I don't know. The media are going to jump on it as soon as we win, right? And I know we've won a couple of games. I think you need to see who we've won against. Freiburg aren't very good. I think it'll be telling because apparently David Moyes fancies winning it. That was obviously before the draw. So I'd like to see what he thinks after the draw because we've got the second favourites.
We'll get back and we'll get like 4-0 off Leverkusen. I'd love to see us win.
Well, you know what? If you do, that just shows how bad Moyes has been. Because if I didn't watch. I've seen the 2 results of Bayer Karabag. Karabag in both legs went 2-0 up. And Bayer Leverkusen
I
had
watched the Leipzig
scrape to
game.
get
I
through.
think you can
And
get.
that was
Yeah. I think you can get a Leverkusen defensively, ain't they? I don't think Leverkusen are brilliant at the back. They like keeping the ball. They like moving forward. I think at the back they're a bit susceptible. And I just think that suits us right now.
I think sometimes they'll just throw the sink at you, and I think you need to withhold or just stand strong, bear the storm, and then see what happens after it. Or you get in first, and I don't like it, but you kind of just pitch up your tents in your own half and just try and be like, come on.
That's what happened the first leg, because the first leg's in Germany.
But then I'm pretty sure somebody who tried that against Bayer Leverkusen in Bundesliga, they tried it, and Bayer Leverkusen just fucking
that will happen to us because we'll make a mistake.
Like, we'll
make a mistake, they'll score, and then we'll fall apart.
Just before we finish up, how good was Kudus' goal against Freiburg?
Unbelievable.
He's listened to me. I told him that he dropped off. He's went off the fucking boil. He's turned the fucking right up, hasn't he?
That was Son versus Burnley good. That was beat 5 players and slot it in on his weak
foot
good. It was
just a lovely goal.
It was.
I think the players were a bit weak to try and follow him.
Completely agree.
To try and tackle him.
I don't know whether you agree with this. In my opinion, if I'm a defender, which I used to be when I was a kid, big up the left backs, he's 2 foot him. 2 foot.
I'd have sent him in next week. If he'd have mugged off 3 players and I'm the last one, I'm ending you for this game. That's it.
And then he's literally already completed. If there was an award for it, he's done the coldest celebration probably in the whole season, hasn't he? Just grabbing the little seat and the little rest. I love it, man. I don't really understand it, but I love it. I think it's quality. It's almost a dance in front of the Olympiacos fans earlier in the season. He's one of the biggest shite bags in the league, but he's class. Is there anything else you would like to cover on this amazing weekend of football?
Yes.
Oh, go on.
Not necessarily just this weekend. Why are players suddenly getting the urge to just throw their foots high?
Yeah.
You had it in the Liverpool City game last week. You had fair enough. The Calvin Phillips one for West Ham wasn't necessarily high, but it was still relatively hip height. Then you had Nelson Semedo against Coventry, which he is kung fu kicked into him. He was an extra Kung Fu Panda, it looked like. It looked like he just froze in midair and just fucking flung a boot at him. And nothing got done about it. So what's it going to take? Like a John Terry to be fucking booted in the face again before they start going,
I didn't
maybe these are getting a bit reckless.
When you're saying this, are you on about, I'm assuming you're talking about Doku.
The Doku McAllister.
What,
last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? There's no need for your foot to be that high.
So are you calling that? A foul?
Yeah,
I called it a foul last week. Yes.
It's not a foul.
It is a foul. If it's anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul.
I'll go further than that. I said this to Ben. I think if the player isn't in as close a proximity and he's clearly followed through, it's a foul. The fact that literally the ball.
There.
Well, 2 seconds, mate. The fact that the ball was literally like closer than like me and this laptop, almost. I don't think that's a foul. What's he meant to do? Not kick it? What are we expecting?
That's alright. Just get studs in the face, but it's alright because you're pretty close to me.
But it wasn't studs in the face, was it?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Studs in the face.
This time it wasn't. Next time it could be.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if there was more force in it, I'd get it. But it's almost like he got the ball and then like. It was his foot doing a natural.
So you're answering what my question was. It takes somebody to be fucking brutally hard before any action's taken.
As I said to you, so if you picture it the other way, so if Doku clears that and it's there's a bit more space between them, and as McAllister comes in, he clearly follows through to McAllister.
I think there wasn't enough contact in the Doku one, but I get what you mean. That especially the last 2 weeks, at least, there's been a lot of going for risky challenges where like the foot is getting quite high on the body. Some of them I've seen a couple where they've just gone for them and they've missed, which is fine. I don't really have that much of a problem. If I was the ref, I'd maybe just caution him and be like, "Do you want to settle?" But yeah, I know what you mean. There has been a lot more like people going for intent with higher balls. I don't think the Doku one was a foul, but I do. I know what you mean about the Semedo one. Fuck me. It's an assault charge waiting to happen. That ain't a tackle.
Would you say that Bruno Fernandes one was a yellow card then? Is that where you're going with that?
Today?
Yeah.
It wasn't high. It was reckless though. I
So
get
is it a
trying
card
to.
then?
I get trying to block the shot, but the fact that he is went in with his studs
So
is
is
a
it a
yellow.
card then?
Yeah, it was reckless. It's a yellow.
Right. Okay. I'd agree. I'd agree with that. I still don't think the Calvin Phillips one is, but that's a 50-50, so it's fine.
I still say his foot was unnecessarily high. I mean, it wasn't very much contact. It's still reckless.
I think it needs to be categorised differently, because if the high foot is because the ball is high, I think you need to look at that differently than if the ball's completely elsewhere and you've ended up putting like all your boots in someone's chest, then it's a red card, mate. Like,
nah, because I kind of get what you're saying. But if the ball's there at head height, you're saying I can just volley some cunt in the face because the ball's there.
No. I've always said this: head height is different.
Right. So if it's a chest, can I just boot him through the chest?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you
that's where the ball was. That's where the ball was last week.
It's part of the ruling for referees. If he's made a clear attempt for the ball and he's got it, but his follow through has got the player. Yellow, don't mind that. Unless it is then quote unquote dangerous.
But it's a foul. It's a foul though.
The Doku McAllister one's not.
Semedo's wasn't. I don't think Semedo's was called as a foul.
I didn't see Semedo's.
I think it was only stopped because the player stayed down.
As a foul.
And then the referee came back to it.
Yeah, but then you go into referee mistakes, mate, and that isn't.
No, but they need to be having weekly fucking meetings or something, because it seems to be one thing leaves, another thing creeps back in. There's not been an awful lot of diving recently, like to get penalties or anything. There seems to be a lot more riskier challenges.
Well, yeah, you lot won up this weekend.
Exactly. They've got more riskier challenges. Then next week it'll be the case of time wasting. Nothing will get done about that. Like, you know what I mean? There's one thing leaves, another one creeps back in, and then they go, oh, but how's that happened? Because you're not doing your fucking job. You're picking up the paycheck at the end of the fucking week, and you're shit. Fucking who was it? Anthony Taylor, what game?
Fire today, by the way. What is going on?
Anthony Taylor, what game did he do in midweek?
He had a little boozy lunch, didn't he? That's what it is.
I wish I'd sleep, that's what it is. Anthony Taylor, what game did he do midweek?
Andy Taylor does any game badly, mate. That's all he does.
Yeah, but I turned to my dad and went, there's a reason there's no English referees that does the Champions League. You have Michael Oliver, but he's shit. He's the best of a fucking bad bunch.
Michael Oliver's apparently our best Prem ref. That's how bad exactly. That's how bad it is at the minute. I mean, Simon still in the job. So Darren England's still in the job. The geezer that couldn't do an offside line. So I don't know if that's the best marker to go off.
You had fucking, what's his name? Fucking Mike Dean. You had fucking Mike Dean, who wasn't a fucking great official. That's still in charge of the fucking VAR. Well, now you've got Howard Webb that does the fucking whole of it. But he's on fucking the one with Paul Merson and stuff, going, I think it is offside. And then they've made a fucking joke about it, because some of the stuff he says, it's like, you're wrong here. 5 minutes later, he goes, I was wrong here. What the fuck are you doing there then? Just get somebody off the fucking street, get the tramp off the fucking street that will give him a fucking slice of bread and sit him in that fucking chair, and he'll do a fucking better job than them. Oh.
Are you saying the average Joe can do better than a qualified referee? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. If anybody's watching, PGMOL, fucking get me in. I'll fucking...
No, could you have sent Calvin Phillips off?
He did get sent off.
That should be the entry question. If you're going to send that his gates off for 2 yellows, you need your eyes checked. No, you're not fit to be a ref, but would you like to go to Specsavers for a set of glasses? Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Me?
No, of course not.
Right. My eyes are fine, thank you very much.
Aye, very good.
See us at the top of the league.
For now.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I can't see you down there.
Yeah. While we're fucking up there, I'm fucking taking it. Just don't fucking speak to me after the fucking City game.
Right. No, you got to City and beat them, mate. They're easy. Right.
Aye. It's turned into fucking tough move. Yeah, it's just turned into some fucking shit stadium, you know what I mean?
I don't believe there's football on next weekend, is there?
Nope, it's
Because we're on an
internationals.
international week, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, we've got a good couple of games. Yeah, Scotland, I mean, do you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll be back the week after. We're probably going to have a week off because I like a bevy when I watch England. I need it, to be honest with you. But yeah, exactly. But please like and subscribe and comment if you have any comments about this. Probably the Spurs, I can imagine one coming. But please like and subscribe because that'll make Gavin smile. There you go. See you later, lads. Cheers.